Hey folks, welcome again to another episode of Wagon Wheel of Wisdom. Behind me, obviously, the beautiful wagon wheel as usual, and up here, hopefully I got some wisdom for you today. I'm going to talk about something that might collide with the other videos I've taken, but it's something that I just have a really hard time wrapping my head around as far as the mentality. And again, it's about dating, but specifically, it is about this notion of, and both genders are doing this, where we think it's cool to treat the other gender like crap. But the videos I'm specifically talking about kind of relate to, I guess Andrew Tate's mentality. There's a few other ones out there too, where I think they're spreading something that isn't necessarily true, or I find to be necessarily true if you're looking for something sustainable long term. In the short term, if this is your game and you want to do this, what I'm going to talk about, fine, by all means, but eventually you're going to hurt people by doing this, and I don't know, for a long-term strategy, I just don't see it being something that is going to last, and I'll get to why. So what I want to talk about is how men out in the dating sphere feel the need to kind of treat women shitty because they feel it makes them more attractive and more desirable. I'm going to talk about a story of mine as to why I don't find that to be necessarily true. I was in a 3 to 4 year relationship with somebody that I moved in and out of their place 2 different times. I was incredibly codependent at the time. I didn't know it. I didn't know what codependency was until I studied it afterwards, but I was incredibly codependent. This woman had every single possible red flag you could imagine and got off on treating people like shit, but because I was completely codependent, I thought I could make something unworkable last and work. And even the dumber part of it, fix her. Now, I'm not a clinician, I'm not a psychologist, but I know how to interpret and read and study and understand things. While I can't diagnose her for being a narcissist with narcissistic personality disorder, and I mean, if I were to go down the checklist, I could cite specific and multiple examples as to her personality, but in my opinion, she was. She was a liar, a cheater, a manipulator. If gaslighting was an Olympic sport, she would have Michael Phelps just blown out of the, excuse the pun, water as far as being a gold medalist. Just one of the nastiest human beings I've ever encountered in my life. In fact, use the court system, because they love doing that to try and get even with me because I wanted to move out and move away from her. Because that's what they do. That's the level of cruelty they go to. That is another topic for another time. But in the end of that relationship, I had to stop blaming her. Do you know why? Because it was me. Weak ass boundaries and codependent. The red flags were there. I tried to leave, but because of my addiction to her and addiction probably to drama, I stayed in the pocket. But she was one of those women who just enjoys grinding the axe with men and cheating and sleeping with whoever and doesn't care about diseases or your health or anything. It's just about what's expedient in the moment for her. So I'm going to flip this around now. I get the feeling that a lot of these men that are talking and that have this mindset of treating women poorly and because it makes you more attractive and they'll want to have sex with you because of that, because they're kind of questing after you, I just don't buy into that. And what I think is maybe some women have done you wrong in the past, but is it more about you than it is them? Is it your choices and not theirs? And why would you then flip it around and treat other people like shit to get what you want, to get pussy? Call me old-fashioned. I'm 46 now. I've been divorced. My divorce was well-deserved because, again, I treated her like crap. And then karma spun around and hooked me up with a narcissist who treated me like shit. And believe me, I got the complete other end of the spectrum on that. But again, I have to look at the end of those relationships at myself. They both functioned. One ended because of how I operated. I was a dick to my ex-wife. And the other was because I was codependent. It's on me to be different. And I have a hard time believing that great women that are out there, I have a hard time believing that great women who have strong feminine traits and even masculine traits with strong boundaries really want to be treated like shit. My guess is they wanted to be treated like an equal. Now, I'm sure there's a big collective of women out there, just like there's a big collective of men that have no problem treating the other sex like shit to get what they want. If you haven't noticed, the world is full of narcissists. It's the way society is. Politics is like that. It's extremes over here, while us in the aggregate sit there and wonder what the fuck is going on. I seriously do. There are plenty of beautiful, normal people out there that want something good. Something good. But the problem is, you assholes are ruining it for the rest of us because you're damaging good people. Now, are there life lessons to be learned? Hell yes, there is. And can people come out at the other end get better? Of course. But a lot of them don't. A lot of them repeat this cycle again and again and again. And it ends up destroying pretty good people. Really good people. And that shit hurts. Take it from this guy. That breaking up with a narcissist was one of the worst things I've ever gone through. One of the worst. It's, well, I equate it to an addiction, to tell you the truth. You detox from it, and it's crazy. But I'm getting a little bit off point here. So, just because in the past a woman treated you like shit, come on, man, don't flip the script and do it to them. Don't do it to the next one. All right? Work on yourself. Separate yourself from the relationship. Take some time to you. You know, don't date. It's not. You aren't going to fix anything hopping from relationship to relationship because you're pulling all those old bags from the past right into the future with you. After the narcissist, I went 2 years, no dating, no sex for 2 years. 2 years, no sex. And now after my last relationship, again, something I'm really looking in the mirror at. Yeah, I was angry with her at how it ended because of the lack of communication and the rug pull, but at the same time, I had to really dig deep and examine, well, why doesn't she want to talk to me? Oh, that's right, because Kevin said some shitty things to her afterwards. Now, was she being reasonable at the time, and is she a poor communicator? She was not being reasonable, and she's a very poor communicator, yes, but that does not give me the fucking right to tear her to shreds. And now she doesn't want to talk to me. And I don't blame her. I wouldn't want to talk to me. But these are the lessons, you guys, we have to learn to be better men and not go into the next relationship, which I could easily do, be a douchebag all over again and take it out on the next woman who actually might find a lot of value in me, and me end up treating her like crap and ruining her for the next relationship for a really good guy. There's no point in that. Think about it for a second and stop with it. Stop with the, I'm not saying don't listen to Andrew Tate. I think he has some decent messages as far as like fixing you, becoming a monster, get in the weight room. But his the way he treats women, I can't agree with it. I'm not built or wired to act like that anymore. I used to. I'm a retired douchebag. There's no question about it. No question about it. But I think, and what I was going to get at earlier, but I let it go until the end. If you go down this path of continuously thinking that you can treat people that way, I'd be willing to bet dollars to donuts you're going to wind up a very lonely person. No sense of self, nobody around you to put up with you. I mean, you might find somebody, but is that even really a relationship that somebody you can sit there and be crappy to? No. That's an object, and not to mention it's pretty damn abusive on an emotional level too, by the way. So there's that little caveat. And the other thing I'd like to mention with this is, I think rings true. The same with politics, with these extreme brains running each side, and the balanced aggregate kind of being shut out and shut down. I think it's time we step up and tell these loudmouths to shut the fuck up. And I'm not talking about on a political level. I'm talking about women, good quality women, telling their narcissistic friends, you know what? Maybe you should just shut the fuck up. Maybe you should stop with the bullshit. Are they going to understand? No, they probably won't, because, well, they're narcissists and they live in their own little reality where somehow the world's always against them. But that's just the way they are. But at the same time, you still can stand up to them a little bit. I think women need to rein women in. I think men need to rein men in. Because, God damn it, there's a lot of good quality people out there. Good quality people. And the bad ones, just like in politics, wherever you go, drama seems to be the drug of choice these days. It really, really does. And it's a hard thing to watch unfold. It's like I live in a world that I no longer get or understand or even connect to. But I hold out hope in my heart that there are a lot of people out there like me that have my mindset and think like this, because we aren't going to make it if we continue on this trajectory. It's no joke. It is a real thing. We are not going to make it. We're not going to survive. This is madness, how we treat one another. It's madness. But it isn't anybody's fault. And I used to watch Infinite Waters all the time, and he always had a great quote, man, if you're pointing the finger at everybody else, guess what? You got 3 fingers pointing right back at you. Be the goddamn change you want to see in the world. I really believe in that. And take it from a retired douchebag. You got to step up to the plate a little bit here on your own. Take some responsibility. Take some time off from dating if you just got broken up with, and learn about you. Learn good boundaries. That is so important. Telling somebody no is so important when it doesn't feel right. It's okay. All right? I love you guys. This is the Wagon Wheel of Wisdom. If you find value in these videos, please like and subscribe to my channel. Give a little shout out. I love this shirt. It's Carbon 4's Oaktober. Carbon 4 is in my town here. It's a brewery. It starts with a K, not a C, by the way. I don't drink, but I used to work there as a chef, as a cook. I wasn't a chef, but that was my divorce rehab. I quit my corporate gig and decided to do something for myself, and I love to cook, so it was one of the greatest experiences of my life, and great people that work there, and they make some great products, great beer. But anyway, that's all I got, folks. Until the next time.